You frequently hear people in the media, both on the left and the right, saying Trump's tweets are a distraction and we must address the serious issues instead. I completely disagree with this. Right now, the most important thing happening in this country politically is a dance craze called the Donald Trump ThreeStep. Here's how it goes. Step 1. Trump tweets something both obvious and true. The 4 congresswomen known as the Squad are anti-American idiots. Elijah Cummings bullies the Border Patrol while his district goes to hell in a handbasket. Al Sharpton is a race-baiting jerk. Now, Trump tweets these simple and obvious truths in a rude and boorish manner because he's a rude and boorish guy. But only a rude and boorish guy would say them at all because the left, which includes the Democrats, the news media, Hollywood, universities, social media, and corporate America, the most powerful elites in the country, the left has worked for decades to render these truths unsayable in polite society. They do this for the simple reason that the decadence their ideas have brought down upon us serves the elite, as leftism always serves the elite while the rest of us suffer. Step 2. The elite machinery goes into gear to defend itself from Trump's truth. The Democrats call him racist. The media calls him racist. Commentators choke up over the racism of it all. Hollywood, academics, social media, racist, racist, racist. Anyone who states these simple, obvious truths Trump states must be a racist. Not one mainstream media outlet spends even a second trying to fairly investigate the question, was Trump right? Was what he said true? What are the facts? All they do is report the charges of racism, then bring on commentators to amplify those charges. And meanwhile, universities teach children to think the charges are true, and Hollywood makes movies to convince you they're true, and so on. Anything to make sure that none of you little people get the idea that you can disagree and speak the truth like Trump does, because if you do, you're racist and you'll pay with your reputation, with your job, with your social media platform. Somehow you will pay big time. Step 3, the rebel media, us, Fox, and the rest of all the smaller outlets point out that, well, yes, the Squad is anti-American and racist. Yes, their ideas are destructive and hateful. Yes, Cummings hasn't done a damn thing for the people he's supposed to serve. Baltimore is hell. And yes, Al Sharpton is a bad guy, an anti-Semitic creep with blood on his hands, who, by the way, played a major advisory role in the Obama administration. And for this, we get demonized, demonetized, banned, boycotted, and algorithmed to death. But maybe the truth gets out. Then we repeat step 1. I call this the most important political phenomenon in the country right now because it's offering Americans a simple choice. Will we choose to speak the truth, even at the cost of being reviled, or will we be cowed into silence and surrender our country to slow socialist death? We just finished 8 years of the slow socialist death stuff. Are we ready to go back? Are we ready to go back to apologizing for our freedom and prosperity to the world's tyrants? Ready to go back to the cop killings and race riots in our cities? Ready to go back to the crappy economy that crushes the poor while elites thrive, and to coddling violent Islamists while the Middle East burns and the Iranian terror state rises? Or can we follow Trump's lead, shatter the communications hegemony of the left, and take back the right to speak freely and debate openly in hopes of returning our country to its great foundational ideas? Now, I've always been honest about this part. As a gentleman who values politeness, I regret that it requires a rough guy like Donald Trump to make this play. That happened because polite, sophisticated right-wing thinkers sat in their think tanks and theorized while the culture burned. But in a fight like this, you use the weapons you've got, and that means Trump. And I'm very much hoping that Donald Trump 3-step leads to a 4th step, namely re-election.